Hello there, only one Kenobi here, only one. I wanted to do this a couple of weeks ago when they announced the Jabba the Hutt for the TVC, but yeah, this is a comparison here of two different Jabbas. These are the only two Jabbas I own. This one is from the Shadows of the Dark Side line, and this one here is from the Barge. And this one here is the one I believe is pretty much the one you're going to get with the TVC when they bring that out. I think it's the same mold. If I'm wrong on that, please do let me know. And also in this video, we're going to have a look at a few images of some other 3 3/4 inch Jabbas. And I've used a couple of sources for that. Mighty Jabba's Collection is a really good website then, a YouTube channel dedicated to Jabba the Hutt. So you'll see all sorts of good stuff on there. But I used a website called galacticfigures.com, which is a database. I do believe they used to be called Jedi Business. Because you know, you've got Rebel Scum, Jedi Business, and then you had Jedi Temple Archives, and now it's called Galactic Figures. But anyway, on there, I've been having a look at some of the other images of some similar Jabbas, but some of them are amazing, and some of them are horrendous. But this is one of the ones that is amazing. In fact, this one here, if you want to see my full review on that, it's on the channel, and I'll leave a link in the description of this video. This one here, I'm very surprised they didn't just reissue this one, because I firmly believe this is the best. But we'll come back to that later. This one here, however, is a really good one. And when they gave us the Barge, and I think they might have even released a few promos of this figure as well that was going to be included with it, I was always happy with this one, because at this stage, when the Barge came out, I'd already seen some shocking ones. And here are some images from Galactic Figures. Ironic, really, because I do actually want one of the horrendous ones, but I'll come back to that later. I'll talk to you about that at the very end. But when I first laid my eyes on this one, I just remember looking at it, because I'm very familiar, as a lot of people are of my generation, with Return of the Jedi. We've seen it so many times. And there's a certain way Jabba looks, his eyes and everything. And so when this rocked up, and when I saw it with my own eyes 4 years ago, I was always really happy with it. I always pictured maybe this would be the one that found its way into the vintage collection. And from what I know, it is. The difference is that it's got superior paint applications, and it's going to be coming on this, pretty much that, except I think there's a few different accessories as opposed to these hard plastic things sculpted to look like they're soft, and obviously that drapes over the edge there. The new one will come with soft goods like some hides, animal hides. This sort of bong thing, although I think it's got a frog compartment, the new one. And you're not going to get Ula, sadly. You're going to get 88 of all people, but still. But on this Jabba here, I reviewed this probably coming up to 2 years ago now. I took one for the team. It cost me a lot of money, way more than it would have been original retail. But ironically, on that website I was just talking about, I don't think they've done this Jabba justice. You sort of see him from that angle like that, of which from this angle, that eye looks bigger than the other. It looks a bit weird from that angle, but I think the reason they did that was because they wanted to showcase on the website that you get Ula with the set. Head on, this Jabba here was fantastic, and it's one of these things that you won't realise until you get it in person. But despite what I just said about this guy, because I think he's got all the features that I remember Jabba having visually, this guy just has it and more. Better detail on the face. The eyes are really, look at that, really capture how he looked. And as I said in a review of him a while ago, he's very green, and I don't remember Jabba being that green. They've probably based this on something, maybe some prop evidence or backstage photography, I don't know, but probably because it's so dark in his palace, you don't notice how green he is. This one here, however, slightly darker, I'd say colour-wise was a bit more realistic. So that's the situation with the Jabbas. But in a way, I'm glad that they're not reissuing this, because this cost me so much money. If they were going to give us him again at retail, I would be sick, thinking, damn it. So at least I've got something exclusive just for my own collection, which is that previous issue. But then it begs the question, why didn't they give you the best of the best? Which would be, well, look at them, they're both damn good, man. But they've obviously settled Hasbro going forward with this one. This has a hard body. There's the rotation of the articulation there, and you've got a ball joint there. you can't do anything with the body. It's solid, which is really all I really want. This one you can articulate, and as you saw in my review, and as I've discovered again now, this is a very slimy figure. The plastic has aged over time and has reacted with the air, and it becomes very slimy. It does eventually rub off and you can clean it off and stuff, but I haven't touched him for a long time, and when I picked him off the shelf just now, he was there with the other punters from the palace. He was proper slimy. It was like, ugh, and I don't even want to touch him now to articulate him because, well, there's two reasons. Number one, I don't want to get my fingers all covered in slime again, but also, it's not actually that great, even though there's a wire in there when I'm touching it, and just, despite what I just said, it's not very good at articulating that tail. You can move it, and there's supposed to be a metal wire that will bend it, but it doesn't work very well. I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. But he can stretch out just straight. That's why I have him. He's got enough space just to stretch out, even though his tail's curled, and he does curl his tail. I have him just stretching out on the chaise lounge, you know what I mean? So there he is. That's all I really wanted to do. I don't know. I just wanted to put two Jabbas side by side, one of them being the one that you're going to get, which is a satisfactory one. But then again, I think this is the best. And I invite you to comment below what is the best 3 3/4 inch one. And if this is the best, surely Hasbro, given the TVC, is the best of the best. Surely they should have endeavoured to give you the best. You know what I mean? This was adequate for that purpose, but I don't know, scale-wise, he's a little bit smaller, this one here, isn't he? I'm trying to get them completely side by side. He's got a wider head. And then there's this one here. But then again, these two do beat any of the other ones I've seen before. Some of them are horrendous. And there's a link in the description to galactic figures. And I did say at the start, I think, that there is one of the shocking ones that I actually want to own. Which you might think I'm crazy for this, but I do want to get that one from 1997. Despite the fact that that scene is awful and should not be in Star Wars, really. It was a novelty back in 97. I had no idea George Lucas wanted to continue to pump that scene in to subsequent releases of Star Wars, so now it's part of the official version. No. It was still a novelty back in 97, and that figure, ironically, is a brilliant sculpted Jabba, looking how he did in the special edition, even though that looked nothing like Jabba. That's how Jabba the Hutt looks and should have looked. And he aged terribly between New Hope and then, if that was the case. But it's just because it's a snapshot in history, should we say, that Jabba the Hutt from 97. So that's why I want to own that. So I'm kind of looking out for it. Occasionally I'll have a little sniff around, and when it's the right price, I'll snag it. I don't want to be spending too much money on it because it's not the best Jabba. These two are the best. So that's the situation. If you haven't already, were not aware that Jabba the Hutt was coming to the vintage collection, get onto it. I'll leave a link to my review of that, or at least my video about the news of the upcoming release. Why not check that out as well? And I think he's available for pre-order, so go get him. But if you own this one here, Shadows of the Dark Side line, wrongly I thought it was the Legacy collection. It's not. Shadows of the Dark Side, which is in similar collection to Legacy collection, which is the same line that AT-AT was in as well. It's quite expensive, I warn you now. But it does come with Ula. Where is she? Get in here, honey. There's Ula there. That's the only time and chance and place you can get Ula. But it just goes to prove they don't want to bring her out, because if they did, they would have brought out Ula again. This gentleman here in the TVC. But instead, you're going to get 88. Not that one specifically, that's Power of the Force 2, but you're going to get a newer, updated 88. And, you know, we saw him in Mandalorian as well. No, we didn't. In Book of Boba Fett. Anyway, that is my video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. Just wanted to film some Jabbas and compare these two, because these are the two talks of the town. These are the two best, I believe, that you can get. That is all. I'll leave it there. This has been Only One Kenobi. Only one. Out.